Okay, so here's my tiny little command center, and I have this light bulb thing next to it I got from Big Lots that I want to show you the white noise machine, just so you have a sense that you can't live under the torturous conditions I'm living in the Winton Hotel, 445 O'Farrell Street, San Francisco, California, 94102. It's been being run by these horrifying racists, 100% black property. And I was attacked, 8 weeks ago yesterday at 4 p.m. by two giant black thugs and pit bull. And you can see that video. Here's the white noise. That's it only has two settings. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a foot switch. Of course, I gotta touch it with my hands. I should move a lot of this stuff. I guess I thought this light bulb kind of you can. It's not a real light bulb. It's like a flashlight. Anyway, that's the flip switch right there, and you can flip it down. And those are the only two settings. Actually, the gizmo itself can spin. Let me see if I can spin it for you. And that kind of lowers and raises the volume, somewhat. But I always need it as loud as possible. And the middle is when it's off. I hope that doesn't disturb my neighbor. He has COPD, and he has oxygen tanks, and that's another reason they can't have smokers just willy-nilly smoking around the building anytime they want and destroying our lives. Again, in our health, and literally, killing us. And nobody seems to care about that. They don't seem to have any, kind of medical knowledge. Certainly, no medical personnel on here. He's much older than I. In his middle 60s, I guess. Anyway, I guess that's not much older. Anyway, here's the Women's Rugby Cup. Here's the date and time check. It's Sunday, the 13th of August, 2017. This is 24/7 French news. Usain Bolt pulls up in last race. Britain wins relay. This was yesterday. And tennis Federer advances to Montreal final. I mentioned this in the previous video as audio date and time check. I couldn't have that knowledge unless it was, after that date and time in history and all that stuff. But anyway, I wanted you to, realize that you have to have these kinds of noise attenuators. It took me a long time to even get used to being able to sleep with the white noise machine, and it's something I would rather live without and all that stuff. But again, with this air well problem right next door, and the guy was making yet another unconscionable amount of noise. Earlier, but it's like Murphy's Law. I think I gave the World Trade example on another video. That's the reason that everybody in the world was on the second World Trade Tower getting hit, because they had already been alerted. So when the crime's occurring, unless the video's already rolling, you're not going to get it. So that's why there's only one camera that was able to capture, miraculously, the very first tower being hit by the airplane, World Trade. And sort of similarly, unless I have a camera running 24/7, 365 at the airwell over there, I effectively have to stand there and wait until they make their substantial amount of noise, which is jarring and again probably causes undue stress in my life. And this is not a medical facility. Somehow the wireless problem where you can't get reception in here and you can't make phone calls, and there are no phones in the buildings. In this building, the Winton Hotel, 445 O'Farrell Street, San Francisco, California, 94102. I believe that's illegal for them not to have phone service, and yet somehow they have 100 units and they've gotten away with it. I don't know if the THC is connected to City Hall, or City Hall is thoroughly corrupt, or the city, county, state, and federal government are fully aware of the corruption and letting this go on and destroy the lives of veterans, and they just check a box if I end up dead of a heart attack, and they go, well, he just got a heart attack. We don't know how that happened. And maybe the medical establishment is complicit in that. And they don't want to be held accountable for heart attacks or the conditions. I've complained to my cardiologist my primary doctor and any other doctor who would listen to me. I've gone to the emergency room repeatedly over at the Fort Miley facility, right by the Pacific Ocean, where they have a beautiful view of things, and they're not located nearby in case we have a heart attack, where they dump all the veterans in this Tenderloin area, just off Union Square. It's like miles and miles to the Fort Miley facility. It's like a half hour by bus or 45 minutes. So that needs to be investigated also. All right, I'll cut this for now.